You have spent 5 years of your life building a future in the United Kingdom. 5 years of hard work, of paying taxes, of integrating your family, of calling this country home. All of it is built on the promise that at the end of this marathon, you will achieve indefinite leave to remain. But there is a trapdoor hidden in the floor of this promise. It is a trap designed to swallow those 5 years whole, sending you right back to the starting line, financially broken and emotionally shattered. This is the skilled worker visa trap, and it is catching thousands of the most diligent, law-abiding people. It is triggered by 3 mistakes. A mistake involving a single payslip that looks perfectly fine. A mistake involving a gap between jobs that you thought was completely safe. And a mistake involving a holiday that the Home Office decides wasn't a holiday at all. Today we expose these 3 copper-setting mistakes in detail, because knowing about them is your only defense. Before we arm you with this critical knowledge, I need you to understand the stakes. This isn't just another visa update, this is a survival guide. Please give this video a thumbs up so the algorithm shows it to every skilled worker who is unknowingly walking towards one of these traps. Share it in your professional and community groups. To my subscribers, thank you for your commitment to staying vigilant. If you are new and your future depends on that 5-year clock, subscribe right now. The next 10 minutes could save you 5 years of your life. The first and most devastating trap is the salary threshold minefield. Every skilled worker knows they must be paid a certain salary. But the trap isn't the headline annual figure, it's the brutal, unforgiving way the Home Office calculates it. The rule is that your salary must remain at or above the required threshold for your specific occupation code, uninterrupted, for the entire 5-year qualifying period. The trapdoor opens the moment your monthly pay, for any reason, dips below the pro rata equivalent of that threshold, even for a single month. Let's paint a picture. Meet Aisha. She's a brilliant data analyst who has been with her company for 4 years. Her annual salary is well above the requirement. However, due to a family emergency abroad, she takes 6 weeks of unpaid leave. The company's HR department processes this correctly. For 2 months, her payslips show a reduced figure. When she applies for ILR a year later, the Home Office caseworker, using an automated system, flags those 2 payslips. The system doesn't see a family emergency. It sees that for 2 consecutive months, her earnings fell below the required monthly threshold. The continuity of her qualifying salary has been broken. The 5-year clock is reset to 0. Her application is refused, and she is told she must now complete a new, unbroken 5-year period. Aisha did nothing wrong morally or contractually, but she fell into a bureaucratic trap. This could also happen with a delayed promotion, a company-wide pay cut, or even a simple payroll error that isn't corrected in time. The system is designed to be absolute, and it has no room for the realities of human life. The second mistake that will send you back to square one is the continuity chasm. This trap preys on the moments of transition in your career, specifically the gap between leaving one sponsored job and starting another. The rule states you must not have gaps in your employment of more than 60 days. Most people know this. But the trap is in when that 60-day clock actually starts and the bureaucratic delays that you have no control over. The clock does not start when you get your new visa. It starts on the day after your employment with your previous sponsor officially ends. Consider the story of Ben. He's a skilled engineer who receives a fantastic job offer from a new company. He hands in his 4-week notice to his current employer. On his last day of work, day 1 of the 60-day countdown begins. His new employer's HR department is a little slow. They take 2 weeks to even start the certificate of sponsorship application. The Home Office takes another 3 weeks to process and assign the COS. That's 5 weeks, 35 days, gone. Then Ben has to apply for his new visa, and he pays for standard processing, which can take several more weeks. By the time his new visa is approved, 65 days have passed since his last day of work at his old job. Even though he had a job offer the entire time, even though the delay was caused by his new employer and the Home Office, the 60-day continuity gap has been breached. When he applies for ILR years later, the system will flag this gap. The 5-year clock is reset. He's a victim of his new company's inefficiency, but he's the one who pays the price of 5 lost years. The third and most insidious mistake is the documentation black hole. This trap relates to the rule that you cannot be absent from the UK for more than 180 days in any rolling 12-month period. Again, most people know the headline number. The trap is not in the number of days, but in the reason for those days and your ability to prove it, sometimes years after the fact. Certain absences, such as those for business travel, are exempt and do not count towards the 180-day limit. But the burden of proving that an absence was for work is entirely on you, and the standard of proof is impossibly high. Let's look at Priya, a marketing consultant whose job requires frequent international travel. Over 5 years, she's careful to keep her personal holidays well within the limit. She also takes numerous trips to meet clients in Dubai, New York, and Singapore. When she applies for ILR, she submits her travel dates and a letter from her employer stating that these trips were for business. The Home Office caseworker rejects the letter as insufficient proof. They demand irrefutable, contemporaneous evidence for every single work trip over the last 5 years. They want client invitation letters, detailed project briefs that required her presence, expense reports filed at the time, and confirmation letters from third parties. Who keeps that level of detailed paperwork for 5 years? Priya can't produce every single document. The caseworker therefore disallows the exemptions. Her work trips are recategorized as personal absences, pushing her far over the 180-day limit in several of the past years. Her application is refused. Her 5 years of progress are wiped out because she couldn't produce a 5-year-old hotel receipt. This is the documentation black hole, a trap where the past comes back to haunt you, and the burden of proof is designed for you to fail. So there you have it. A salary dip you didn't think mattered, a gap between jobs caused by others, and a work trip you can no longer perfectly document. 3 simple common scenarios. 3 trapdoors that lead to the same devastating outcome. Your 5-year journey to a secure future, erased in an instant. The skilled worker visa is no longer just a pathway, it is a tightrope walk over a canyon. The system is not designed to understand your life's context. It is a cold, binary system of rules designed to find fault. Your only defense is to be more vigilant, more paranoid, and more organized than the system is unforgiving. Have you or someone you know fallen into one of these traps? Please share your story in the comments below. It could serve as a vital warning for others. Remember, this information is for your awareness and is not a substitute for professional legal advice from a qualified immigration lawyer. Protect your timeline. Stay informed. Thank you for watching. If this has opened your eyes, please share it. You could save a friend or a colleague from falling into one of these traps. Document everything. Question everything. Assume nothing. Stay safe and stay informed.